Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a card reading for your next week. So Milton Friedman said there was no such thing as a free lunch, but Amy, that's me, says there is such thing as a free tarot reading, and that's what we're doing here today. So if you support free tarot on YouTube, I would appreciate a like on this video. It really helps me out and it promotes free tarot reading, and if it's free, it's for me. That's also something that Amy says. So today for our pick a card reading, we have 3 groups for you. 1, 2, and 3. I will be placing objects here in a moment. So what you do is you pick the group, number, object, maybe you like the timestamp. You use your intuition to pick that. And then I use my intuition to read the cards for you. And for group 1, we are going to use this stone. It is, or crystal, it's citrine. It's a citrine point. For group 2, this crystal is aura quartz. So what it is, it's blue aura quartz. They take quartz and they electrify it somehow, and like gold or different minerals adhere to the surface of it, changing the color. So that's not natural. Usually it's clear, but that's okay. It's still very pretty, very cool looking. And for group 3, this is Howlite. So I'm going to take a deep breath here in a moment if you want to do that with me. Otherwise, the timestamps are down below and I will see what you're reading. But if you want to take a deep breath in here with me, connect with the cards. Let's just close our eyes, take a deep breath in. And release all tension, release all your worries, everything else, all distractions. Try to be here in the moment. And let's see what the cards have to tell us about your next week. Thank you. Hello, group 1. If you picked this beautiful citrine point, you are in the right spot. Let's take a look at the first card that came out for you this week. And it is 29 Wisdom. If you usually do my weekly readings, I know Wisdom, the last time we used these cards came out, and wisdom is really important because it combines 2 things. It combines knowledge and intuition. I think it is a little bit more than what you know and a little bit more than how you know it. Kind of like getting you're more than the sum of your parts too. So even there are people who are book smart. There are people who go to school for a long time, and maybe that is you, but wisdom is like a step up about that. It's like taking that knowledge and putting it into action. And it's also kind of like a discretion of where that knowledge comes from. And, you know, it seems to be really kind of a thing going on right now of the knowledge that is out there, and is it really true? Because there is so many things that are going around that may or may not be true, and I think you might be questioning some things. It's important with your wisdom. It's kind of like a building of things, if you will, and then running it past your intuition to make sure that it makes sense to you. If you question it, sometimes you question things and people are like, no, it's like this, and you kind of just, okay, I believe you, but really pay attention to the things that you're questioning. Look a little bit deeper into it. It is kind of like that play between like, you know, this doesn't sound right. I'm going to look deeper into it and find more knowledge about it. And then, yeah, combine that wisdom so that you're comfortable with the information that's coming through. Now, this could be news. This could be with some gossip sometimes, what somebody is telling you. Maybe you hear something about your friend. The other thing that is kind of coming through, like I was saying, like gossip, like if you hear something about your friend, let's say, or a mutual acquaintance, or like somebody is describing a job. Let's say you wanted to get a job and somebody is describing that company. The way they describe it, the way that person describes another person, the way that person describes a company, the way that person describes a job says more about that person than it really does that what they're describing, if that makes sense. So you get a sense of somebody's values when you ask them to talk about other people, or their values when you ask them to talk about an idea. And that helps you with the kind of like the wisdom too. You also, I mean, that works in politics. You get a sense of somebody's values when they describe to you a political situation that's going on. So sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt. Sometimes when something conflicts with your own known things, like that can be a good idea. It might make you feel uncomfortable, and that is just your cue to look into it more. You don't want to take anything necessarily at face value. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different experiences. We all, they talk about walking in somebody else's shoes. Well, that's kind of getting an idea of their background to understand why they think the way that they do. But you think differently than somebody else, and that is okay. Because I feel like there's an element of wisdom in trusting yourself, because you have to really trust your intuition with things. So let's see what else comes out here. What else can you tell me? Ooh, for group 1 for next week. What else can you tell me for group 1 for next week? And the first card that came out is the Devil. Don't worry about that. It's actually a good card because it's going to give us some information, especially since we've got the Nine of Swords here. We've got the Chariot in reverse. Things just flying out, and we've got the 4 of Wands. So I feel like this has a happy ending because we're over here with the 4 of Wands. So even though you might feel like you're not sure which way to go or really paralyzed, I think that's why the wisdom is coming in here, because Chariot is a card about movement. Chariot is a card about making a decision, picking up the reins, putting things together and pushing it out and moving forward, right? But we have the Chariot in reverse. So we're kind of like rethinking some things, especially when we've got the, this is the 9 of Swords in reverse. So I want to show you what this card kind of looks like. Somebody here, they're like almost in the fetal position, and they've got all of these swords coming at them. This could be streams of information. This could be streams of thought. And it's kind of like what I was talking about with the wisdom. It's kind of like this boundary here between these toxic thoughts, these toxic information coming in, and you. It just seems like it can be kind of overwhelming this week. The Devil card, the Devil can talk about manipulation, and I kind of feel like to look for that. If something feels off with this wisdom for your overall week, look at it, question it. Are there strings attached to something? Is it really for you? Are you overly attached to like this idea and it's upsetting you? Being upset about something, being uncomfortable about something is actually a good thing, because it forces you to question what's going on. It forces you to look at something a little bit different. And really where we want to be is over here in this 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is a beautiful card. First of all, 4 is a number of stability. If you ever have listened to my readings and the 4 of Wands comes up, I feel like I say this every single time, that a chair has 4 legs. Why? Because that is a stable way. The chair is very stable. I'm like wiggling here in my chair and it's not moving, it's stable, it's rock solid. So when we have the end result here as the Four of Wands, it is a stable connection either between people, a stable, and this connection can just be like this is a wedding, right? And usually sometimes it's not necessarily that. We didn't ask the question of if you're getting married. If I did, they'd be like, oh yeah, it looks good for that. But it can be a celebration. It can be a kind of like a meeting of the minds too. I do like in this card how we have almost like opposites of these people, almost like a yin yang, masculine feminine kind of thing. So I feel like whatever you're questioning, you can, even though it seems like things don't go together like oil and water, you can find a way to merge it. You can find a way where it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like you're being manipulated over here. And you're just that, like I was saying, that being uncomfortable is good because you're questioning things, you're learning things, you maybe even just learning something about yourself and kind of merging these ideas. You might need to sit with it for a while. It may feel like you're not necessarily moving forward. You might have to sift through what is it that makes you uncomfortable? Why do you feel like you're being manipulated? Why do you feel like you're attached to this idea? And why do you feel like it's time to let go? What makes you feel like you're holding back? So as I'm asking these questions, if something is like, oh yeah, I haven't really thought about that. I haven't really dug deeper into that. That's a good question. You might want to, you can pause the video right now even, and write those questions down and meditate on them. Think about those things because this is a time to kind of like, the boundary around here, but maybe because you actually face it and maybe pull that string of digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper so that it's something that it's not a thought that's continuing to come up for you. It's not a negative thing that continues to affect you. Okay? Because then notice how like kind of heavy even these cards are, especially these two. Very heavy, kind of dark energy. And even here in the wisdom, it kind of like evaporates into something lighter. And then we've got the red over here and the blue, very beautiful. Like what you're finding out and how you are discovering yourself, I want to say. I mean, this is going to be a good week for you to learn some new things about yourself, and really kind of come out of a negative space. And it may not be a negative space that I feel like it's a deep level thing that has been bothering you for a while, and maybe you've just kind of buried it and buried it and buried it so you can move on. And this week is the week to deal with it. This week is to tap into your intuition, look a little bit deeper, look into your knowledge. Why is that bugging you? Look at it from different perspectives. And even, I said like the yin yang, sometimes this chariot has a yin yang on it as well, like the masculine and feminine energies. And it talks about like moving with those energies together. So I kind of feel like you're going to sit here with it for a minute. Like how I have this idea and I have this idea. How do I merge those things? Even in wisdom, when I was talking about like the one side of it is knowledge and the other side of it is intuition. Like sometimes those are kind of difficult to merge together. Like I know I feel this way about this subject and I have no idea why, for instance. And it makes you feel, again, back to the uncomfortable, and why are you attached to it? So the devil, and I said, don't worry about the devil. It's not an inherently bad card. It's just can be like a tough energy. But we all have attachments. We all have like ideas that no longer serve us. It could be even something like a relationship that no longer serves us. It could be even like a job that no longer serves us. Thinking about that, because change is difficult. So let's say that it's a job or a relationship. We may have known that it's time to leave that for a long time, and it's really difficult to act on it, right? The Chariot upright would be acting on it right away. It would be moving on it. It's difficult to act on these things because we have our ego involved. Our ego loves the status quo. Our ego loves getting us into a routine and because that to the ego is stability, but it's come to a point for you where it's just too much. And don't worry about your stability. You're going to get it back once you take a look at these ideas and kind of bring them together. So I'm in the background here shuffling these cards because I'm going to pull 2 more for you. Anything else or advice we have for group 1 this week? Any more? Okay, we've got one there. We'll see what it is in a second because I want one more. What other advice do we have for group 1 this week? Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing. So I love that over here, over that. And then we have heart and home compassion. Okay, lovely. So I feel like just looking at this, for some reason, I feel like the heart and home, the compassion, because when I talk about intuition, I really kind of cover my heart. Like I feel like, what does your heart say? Like your head can be very logical, your knowledge can be very logical, you can think that wisdom is very logical, but don't overlook what your heart has to say about a subject. So the other thing that I love about this card, heart and home compassion, there's not any, like this is a major arcana card, this is a major arcana card, then we've got swords and wands. There's not any like love and emotion. You might be feeling like overwhelmed with love and emotion, or emotion. We need to turn that emotion into love. Sometimes, especially when we're in this 9 of Swords energy, you're really not feeling love. You kind of feel lost. You kind of feel out there. When we have heart and home, remember, home is where your heart is. So home is where you feel love. Home is where you feel like you belong. And if you're not feeling that right now, that's something we need to work on. We need to work on where you feel love and compassion. We need to work on if there's not anybody around you giving you love, which I'm sending you love right now, okay? You really need to work on that for yourself. And I almost feel like there was, what did I see this week that I absolutely loved? It was a video and this guy was saying that what we look for or what we want from other people, and I'm paraphrasing here, is really what we need to give ourselves. So if you're in a relationship and you don't feel like you're getting that love that you really want or deserve, and you are, maybe you're putting in 110%, maybe you're doing everything that you can and you want, and you're just wondering like, what is wrong with me? That person doesn't understand, or they're not reflecting that love back. What you really need to do is look in the mirror. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with them, and give that love and compassion to yourself. Start shining your light of love on yourself. You are the one who deserves your love and compassion. Start giving yourself that love and compassion that you're giving to others and you're not getting back. start reflecting it back to yourself. And once you do that, it's amazing how like the right person comes into your life, or how you find just love and compassion around you, even just from random strangers. Like you're walking down the street and somebody just pays you a nice compliment, and then it just grows and escalates from there. Okay, and then we've got Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing. So the one thing I want to say about right timing is what is for you is always for you. A lot of times we feel like we may have missed an opportunity, and it's not the time to dwell on that. It's the time to look forward, because in the time where you're dwelling on an opportunity that you missed, you could be missing another opportunity and another one and another one. Don't worry. This wheel turns and it continues to turn, and luck is on your side, and you're going to see this new opportunity because you take a moment here to sit in love. You take a moment here to love yourself, and you take a moment to like pick your head up and look around, rather than being trapped in this 9 of Swords energy where you're feeling like so many things, so many negative things are coming your way. And it is such like a difference, these two cards. I'm glad that this 9 of Swords is reversed for you, because I feel like, you know, it's been coming in and coming in and coming in, and wherever, like it could even just be like the news, and it feels, and if you're an empath, you're really feeling it, this negativity, and a lot of times social media is this infighting, and it's time to let that go. It's time to give yourself love. You don't need it from external source. Sure, that would be nice, but give it to yourself first, and then we'll find it. And it's time to be really optimistic for yourself for the future. And the thing is about this negativity that's coming in, it's all, remember when I was talking about that person describing something, and it really is an indication of how that person is, rather than the event, rather than what they're describing, rather than that job. This is people describing to you how you should feel. This is people describing to you what you should think. And I feel like it's really uncomfortable for you, because deep down you have this wisdom, and you know that's not right. You know there's something different, and that's why you need to come back into your intuition, come back into your heart center, find your home, and look for the bright love for you. We are talking about you on an individual level. We are talking about the things for you. Don't let things that don't affect you affect you. And that's what's happening over here when we have the 9 of Swords upright. We have all of these people telling you how terrible things are, or how terrible you are because you're, X, Y, and Z. That doesn't make sense for you. That's why it's uncomfortable. That's why you need to sit with it. That's why you need to find your home. And that's what's going to make the difference for you moving out of that negative energy this week. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I absolutely love this for you. I'm sending you love right now. I hope that you're feeling it. And just as, things can turn very quickly. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is all about. Things look, I'm in Colorado. So our weather here, it was like 70 degrees yesterday. Tomorrow it's going to be like a high of 30. So think of things like the Colorado weather, like things can turn in an instant. It can snow and then it can melt off the next day. That's just my example for me. I'm actually looking out the window right now, but and I'm being shown like that things can change for you that dramatically and that quickly as well. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is like. Sometimes you feel like you're at the bottom of the wheel. Sometimes you feel like you're here and you're like, yeah, let's do this. But the difference is being in this heart center, using your intuition and blocking out that negative stuff that just isn't for you. Okay, so I love you, Group 1. I hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. If you picked this blue aura quartz, you are in the right spot. And the first card that got pulled for you is transformation. Oh, it's external transformation. So I'm not sure exactly what, that's French or Portuguese. This deck came from Portugal. So and also this deck is separated into a couple different things and like subcategories. So external transformation is under consciousness in this deck. Consciousness is our awareness. So I think that that's important when we're talking about this card. External transformation can be a natural conclusion of an inner change. And if it's not from an inner change, like from how we're changing our thoughts, how we're changing our mood, how we're changing internally, then our external transformation can be very superficial. So an example of an external transformation might be if you have been wanting to lose weight. A way to just, I mean, you can count calories, you can go to the gym, things like that. But one of my friends, she went through a divorce, and it was pretty terrible, of course, as it is. But after that, she shed so much weight because she realized that really what was keeping that on was she was unhappy. And I'm not saying that finding happiness is going to get you to your weight loss goals. You might have to do more than that, but it's a start. It's a step in the right direction. Something else, the way your clothes, your house. This could be something very physical. Your work, your friends, places that you go to. Those are all kind of examples of an external transformation and something you might be looking at this week and doing. So again, the important thing is, just think about like what you put in your body, what you put on your body, things like that, like the air. Are you breathing, for instance? It's amazing what just taking some deep breaths, just relaxing can really do to your physical appearance. There's a channel here that does, it's called Peaches Skincare. So shout out to Lisa over there. She talks a lot about doing natural things, but a lot of improving your appearance, improving your skin. But a lot of that is internal things, your diet and just what you're using, what you're putting in your body that makes those external transformations possible. Okay. Let's see what else comes out for you this week, Group 2. What else does Group 2 need to know for this next week? I'm sorry, I'm just kind of giggle because I feel good. I feel like just saying what I said about the external transformation was almost, it let go of a lot of weight, if that makes sense. I'll see what that card here is in a second. I want to get 3 more cards. What else can we tell Group 2 about this next week? What else can we tell Group 2? Yeah, breathing is really important. It feels really good, okay? When the cards come out, they really want to come out. 2 more cards for Group 2. There we go. What else for Group 2? Oh, all right. All right. Woohoo! Okay. Yeah, woohoo. So the reason I said that is because we start off with the Fool. The Fool is a major arcana card. We have 2 more major arcana cards in this. We've got, this is the Empress, and we've got Temperance. All things in moderation, but you might have to like ultra focus on something is what I'm getting with Temperance in the reverse. Temperance is about balance, Temperance is about moderation, but the Fool can be ultra focused. So I feel like Temperance is really speaking about the Fool. I also feel like you kind of get like this emotional balance with Temperance, right? But the Fool has like this overwhelming kind of optimism about it. And this external transformation, I feel like you need to come at it with this optimism. This like, I am just going to go out here, I'm going to be in the sunshine, and I'm going to walk off this cliff if I need to. We've got your trusty companion, Fido. What does Fido mean? Fidelity? Fidelity. Fido, I think, did it come from the Dutch? There used to be when people would get married, and I don't know why I'm going off on this, but it came in, so I'm going to talk about it. They would do a portrait of somebody getting married, right? They didn't have marriage certificates like in the way back. I don't know what time frame I'm talking about, 14 to 1600s, something like that. They didn't have that. So they didn't have, of course, cameras. So they would do like this wedding portrait to kind of like be the, wedding certificate to show that these 2 people got married. A lot of times they would put a dog in it because that would mean fidelity. And because dogs are faithful companions. So, but this dog is like, hey, be careful, be careful, be careful. And you're just like, you know what? I am just going all in. I am super excited about this. I know that I just need to really focus on something if I want to get it done. I need to let go of the noise. This is the 5 of Wands, and it can talk about distractions and noise and people, but we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. So it is like we've got to put our blinders on and not worry about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is saying. Now, sometimes there is an element here with the 5 of Wands. If you know somebody who is on the same page as you, maybe they have the same goal with their external transformation, they can come in and help you and keep you accountable. But this 5 of Wands is not necessarily people having your best interest. It's people who can be competing with you, who maybe are like, oh, you're gonna do that? Well, you should, blah, 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 or you can't, or, you tried before and it didn't happen. Like, you don't need that kind of negativity. You don't need that kind of competition, if it were. If you are going to get into, because I feel like competition can be a good thing in the form of it helping you get better. So if you are looking at other people for what they've done and how they've done it, that's great. Look at very optimistic sources though. Don't look at somebody who's going to berate you for what you're doing or why you're trying to do that. So I feel like that's why it's here. It's kind of like a, hey, be careful. Because not everybody, there can be jealousy behind it. Not everybody wants you to see you succeed. And I think that's a really kind of sad and kind of weird thing, but it's true. And it's important for you to kind of remember that, because if you are getting some negative feedback on something, remember that is them, that is not you. Continue on your path like you're not even paying attention to their negativity. Now we have the Empress coming out here. And in reverse, it's very personal. She is about abundance. She is about loving. She is about like loving other people. But sometimes she can be like, she is the quintessential mother. Like she's the divine feminine. But sometimes, you know, if you are a mother, you give, and you're there for other people, but you're not necessarily seeing that return. And when I see her in reverse, it's like a, hey, you need to focus on yourself, focus on your self-love, and heighten that. You need to be like, sometimes self-care is just sitting in your car listening to some music. If you need to do that for a half hour, do it. If you need to carve out some time for you, do it. This is really a week for you. This is a week for your goals. This is a week for you to go and pursue what is important for you. Don't worry about the peanut gallery, and don't worry about so much being, you know, everything in moderation kind of thing. I feel like you really need to just jump in feet first, and you can come back to moderation. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of times we balance our personal life. A lot of times we balance our social life, our work life, our home life. We need to do this for our parents. We need to do this for our children. We need to do this for this. We need to do this. We need to start living, breathing, being in this space, in that change that you want to make. And you can worry about moderation once you get your routine down. You can worry about it once you have got the ball rolling, and then you can start to bring in other things, or you can start to pull back over here. But this is really something about, like, you know, pretend you're a CrossFitter. I'm joking about the CrossFit thing, but you have to like really be into it to do it every day, and you have to be excited about it, and you have to really push it so that you can push your own boundaries. And that is what it's about for this external transformation. So I'm going to pull 2 more cards here. Let's see what we got. What else do we have for group 2 for next week? What else do we have for group 2 for next week? And I almost feel like, remember in the beginning when I was talking about the external transformation, and I just discussing it, and I felt like a weight come off my shoulders. I just felt like kind of a breath of fresh air. I almost feel like just talking about it, kind of validating what you wanted to do. I think you have an idea of what you're looking for and what you want to do, and what we're talking about is validating this for you. And I think it just feels good to think about it. It just feels good to be like, yeah, you know, I'm excited about this, have this goal, take that leap, jump, figure out the details later, and really focus on you and focus on yourself right now. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, and wandering between realms. Ooh. So very interesting. I think this is kind of vanishing mirror is talking about almost like destroying what you see in the mirror, kind of, and not in a bad way, like destroying your definition of yourself and rebuilding it in what you want, what you really, really want, what might actually kind of scare you. This is like where you are might be okay, but over there, that might be a little too risky. Like if you've ever really, really wanted to do something, but you felt like, oh, that's, you know, that's not for me. I'm trying to take the safe road. I'm trying to be, you know, careful or whatever. No, it's time to destroy that idea of yourself and really rebuild it in the image and the way that you want it to be. So beautiful. And then we've got straddling worlds, wandering between realms. This is so cool, especially with Vanishing Mirror, because it's almost like you've got 1 foot kind of where you are and 1 foot like in the new realm, in the new you. I get this image of you, you know, really reaching for your goal, really wanting that goal, but kind of like just dipping your toe in and going, okay, is the water fine? And then just, yes, it is. And really going out there and swimming into this new world and this new thing that you're creating. It's interesting that I'm getting that idea of water, considering that, you know, temperance is very related to water. It's related to balance. It's related to balancing our emotions, but it's not a time to be reserved about it. It's a time to really get excited about the possibilities, excited about where you're going, and just kind of like, this is remaking your whole world. Like you are almost becoming somebody different in like an amazing and fabulous way. Like this is the caterpillar that goes into that cocoon, I think it's a chrysalis, and then breaks out and discovers that you're actually a butterfly. And you might want to be like, okay, this is really exciting and I really want to jump off this cliff, but the straddling of 2 worlds is like, I'm not quite letting the side of the shore yet before I finish my journey, but I feel like it's really going to gain momentum, and it's just gonna really encapsulate you, because I'm getting super excited about it for you and with you right now, of what you can do and what you can accomplish if you put your mind to it and you just jump into it. There's I've seen it on Instagram, I've seen it on TikTok, and I don't know what motivational speaker it is, but I'm getting the idea of here, give it 6 months, like just push it. Just put your heart and soul into it for 6 months and try it. And you're just going to like reshape everything that you ever thought about yourself and become everything that you've ever wanted to be. Very powerful, and you've got some like super powerful cards to go along with it, group 2. So love it for you, love you, hope you have a great week. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. If you picked the Howlite, you are in the right spot. And the card that came out for you is 14, the Law of Attraction. So this is the Cosmic Laws Oracle. So for Law of Attraction, it's probably one of the most talked about laws out there. It is about being in the vibration. Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks would say, being in your vortex, being in that, it's an optimistic vibration of attracting what is like you. So whatever it is that you're wanting, if you are looking for love, if you are looking for wealth, if you're looking for health, a lot of times we think we are using the law of attraction like, yeah, I am thinking about money 24/7. I don't understand why it's not coming for me. So you kind of really need to think about that for a moment. Like, what is it that you're trying to attract? And what are your current thoughts about that thing? So let's talk about money, for instance. Are you really in the vibration of abundance? Are you really in the vibration of just allowing the universe to provide for you in amazing ways? Or are you in the vibration of not having money? And what you're seeing is the absence of money because you're feeling tight. You're feeling like, oh no, I don't know if I can do this. And that's not like being irresponsible and just going out and like splurging and spending on everything. But it can start with some affirmations. It can start with you writing things down like, I am abundant, I am love, I am whatever that is that you want to attract. Maybe it's all of those things. I am health, I am wealth, I am, there's a lot of great affirmations out there. So I invite you to go and look those up on your own. If you're really wondering about how to be in the vortex, for me, currently I found myself like really in a place of anger, and that is not being in the vortex, but it at least tells me something. So I think about that place of anger. I think about where I am and where I want to be and what is holding me back. And I actually wrote about it and journaled it out, and it helped me release it. It helped me let it go. And I love the kind of like watercolor here of like letting it go and letting that also, they'll say, let it flow. Like if sometimes you think that something is for you and you push and push and push and push and push, and the harder you push, the more it seems to get away from you. I'm having this idea of an animal right now. Like you see an animal on the side of the road that somebody clearly dumped, and you go out to try to catch it. And the more you run after it, the more it runs away. But a lot of times you just need to sit in stillness. Just sit there and let it come to you. Or have a hot dog with you or something like that. But see, right there, it's knowing what is going to attract what you're looking for. So what else can we tell group 3 about this week? What else can we tell group 3 about this week? Okay, we've got the King of Wands reversed. Okay, that is, Ten of Pentacles reversed. I think, yep. Oh, okay, we got 3 that came out here. We'll read them together. Okay, very interesting. So I almost feel like what it is that you're looking for might have to do with money, just because we've got the 10 of Pentacles reversed. I think you have an idea of what it is, like, and if you don't, you should think about this, script it out, like what it is in the future that you want for yourself regarding wealth. But it can also be love or family, or how you want to build your empire is coming to mind, like what it looks like, how it's going to be, that kind of thing. And you might look at your current circumstance and think, how the heck am I going to get there when it's just not working out for me? Like like my current circumstance is so far away from what I want. Well, the first thing to note is that things can change almost instantly. And I almost feel like you're trying to be a little bit too controlling and forceful about your situation. There's some things that are just out of your control, and you need to let that go. What I mean about it is control the controllables. There are so many things that are out of our control in life, and you can control your attitude. You can control when you wake up. You can control what you eat. You can control how much water you drink. Start thinking about those things and your success. You can control what you journal. You can control your goals. You can control your dreams. Start thinking about where you want to be. What is your passion? And where you want to take it. Where is your vision? Because this King of Wands, right now he's in reverse. And, I also kind of feel like you're not quite aligned with what you want. I feel like that this 10 of Pentacles is what you want. And a lot of times, media or friends or whatever will kind of make you feel guilty about it. Like, why would you want that? That's so selfish. Or attach like other labels like that to the thing that you want, and that just distances it from you. You have nobody that you need to explain yourself to. You only have yourself to explain. And I'm gonna like kind of put these out so we can see it, because this is important. We've got the, this is the High Priestess reversed. We've got the Knight of Swords here, and we've got the Tower reversed. And I feel like it is when the High Priestess is a card that we really want upright, and these two as well, when we're talking about the law of attraction, when we're talking about going out and getting what we want. And I feel like you're feeling like you're getting beat up right now, but we really just need to kind of be laser focused on your dreams, on your thoughts, on what you want. And you can't let other people dictate what you want. You can't let them get in there. It's going to like crack everything that you're trying to build for yourself. You have to have your own ideas. You have to have your own way of what you feel like success is going to be. So it might be, because otherwise, how are you ever going to be in that vibration of it if you're allowing other people to dictate your feelings about it? And I think that's why our High Priestess is reversed here, because you feel a certain way, you want a certain thing, it's just not coming out that way. And you're feeling like you're getting a little beat up about it, and you're almost feeling like it's time to let it go. But it's just a different way to reframe it. There's nothing inherently wrong about money. There's so many people that will tell you there's something wrong about money. Usually those people who feel like there's something wrong about money aren't attracting money. There's nothing inherently wrong about people who have money. Now, it does give somebody like a larger platform, and that is what they do with that platform might be what somebody is responding to, because there are people with money who use their platform in a very negative way. And a lot of times our collective ideas about money is that it's negative because we feel jealous about the people who have it. But it could also be a jealousy about like a happy family. There are a lot of people who are very jaded about love, who are very jaded about children even, or families, and have had just, very bad experience about it. I'm feeling like, you may have even had something in your hand or grasped something, whether that is like your career. You thought you had like the perfect career, but it just didn't work out. Maybe it was like that perfect relationship, it just didn't work out. Or maybe it is that you keep trying and trying and trying, but it feels like almost a force, like you're forcing it. And you need to revisit a lot of your ideas about it and what it is that's going to get you excited about it. So I feel like a lot of the ideas aren't your ideas. A lot of the ideas are somebody else's ideas. And you really need to question the thoughts that are coming into your mind and how you're going to accomplish the things that you're going to accomplish, how you're going to be in the vibration of the things that you want to be in a vibration about. Because if you feel like you want something, but then you have this guilt about it, it's not going to work out very well for you. And you thriving, you having a roof over your head and providing for your family and your children and for even generations of your children, and thinking about your retirement and when you want to retire and taking those things into your own hands, because I feel like a lot of that is within our own grasp and our control, but a lot of people feel like out of control. And I think I said something about being too controlling, but you start off with the foundation, controlling the controllables. Again, what is it that you're consuming? What is it that you are listening? Who is it that you're listening to? What is it that you're eating? When are you waking up in the morning? Those things. Do you have a regular workout routine? Do you have a beauty regimen? Those are the things that you can control. And it almost feels like, we've got the Tower in reverse. It almost feels like you need to let go of a lot of layers of crap that people have told you. But because the Tower is in reverse here, it's you thinking about, where you are, and a lot of soul searching and meditation here about ideas and thoughts, because a lot of the things that we think are programmed from our environment. I have a lot of friends in certain industries, and I can tell you exactly what they think just because I know what the industry is. And then I have a conversation about them about money, for instance, and I'm like, okay, well, this person, works in this industry, so I know exactly what they think because it's what everybody else in their industry thinks about it. But it's we're trying to break out of that, right? We're trying to be you. And again, we're coming back to this 9 of Wands where I feel like you have gotten beaten up about it. Okay, is there any other advice here that we have for group benefactor, grace and generosity? Group 3. Okay, and one more. And we've got dragons, horde, protecting the future. Very interesting. So, benefactor, grace, and generosity. This is cutting through, I've been talking about other people's opinions, other people's things, what they're saying. Find that person that is living the life that you want to live and figure out how they did it. What are the steps that they took? And it's interesting that this little mouse here has like a crown and you're like cozying up to them because I feel like there are people out there who are living like this very happy life. They're not the people who are going to like comment on any of your social media and tell you what to do, right? I'm also getting, don't take criticism from anybody you wouldn't take advice from, okay? That's kind of what I feel like the negativity is coming from. That you put out like, oh, I want to be a stock trader, and then you get all these people maybe that you went to college with who are like, what are you going to, why would you want to do that? Or that's a horrible job or whatever. But there are a lot of people who use their platform for better. And I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying that it's not inherently negative to want to do anything. There's not any job that's inherently negative. You could have like a specific reason for wanting to do that. Find the person who did it for the same reason that you did and model yourself after that. And I feel like, if you put that inquiry out there, there are mentors all over the place. There's mentors all over Instagram. There's mentors all over YouTube. Start looking at it, start pulling that thread, start finding this group, this tribe, these people who are going to take you into a better direction. And then the dragon's horde, protecting the future. I think this is very, very much involved here in this 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to show you this card. This 10 of Pentacles, like it is raining wealth here. It is a happy family. It's an old person feeding a dog. It's like this, it's generational wealth. This is you in your retirement. This is you passing on things to your family. This is you passing on things to your children. This is like the future you. I don't know how old you are now, but this is like what we really want in our retirement, what we really want kind of our legacy to be. It's more than money. It's more than, it's passing on, it's like the quintessential perfect family. Of course, there's problems always along the way, and that's okay. But it's you overcoming those obstacles. It's about you just living in this life that you really create and sculpt for yourself. Right now, you're not really in alignment with it. And Dragon's Horde is protecting that future. This little dragon this looks like a little dragon egg. It's seeing that future, it's protecting that future, and it's living that future. So that's what I have for you, group 3. Very interesting things to think about for you for this week. Very, a lot of kind of sifting through things, and you shouldn't feel beat up anymore. I feel like there needs to be an element of protection that you put around yourself, even kind of in this dragon's hoard, because at one point you were the little egg too. So protecting yourself, protecting your dream, being that dragon but the egg at the same time. What came first, the dragon or the egg? I don't know. I even know that less than the chicken or the egg. But because there's kind of like a fierceness here in protecting your dream and not letting other people drag you down for it. What you want is totally valid. It's totally and completely valid. We are all co-creators in the universe. That's one thing, if you listen to Abraham Hicks, that will come up as a theme. And if that resonates with you, I invite you to, look up Abraham Hicks, look up that kind of stuff, because law of attraction is actually very empowering, and it's very positive, and it's positive for you, and then it's positive for the people around you. Like, it's very uplifting. So not only, so that someday you can be a benefactor for somebody else. So love you, group 3. Thank you so much for being here. Sending all my love to you, and I will see you in the next reading.